spot?
You're in the perfect spot.
Well,
I feel the energy.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jean-Charles and Gina, for welcoming us here. We're really grateful to be in your home as we kick off what is actually the 17th wine celebration. And what's amazing about this year is usually we're around 450 people, but this year we're close to 600 people will be at the event on Saturday night, and it's we have a really high retention rate. So if you're new, you're going to see why, because people come back year after year because people become friends and family of the foundation, and you'll see as that unfolds. But this year we actually have almost 30% new people coming. So in light of that, I'm going to give you all a little bit of background about how we started. And I lost my mom to cancer when I was a little girl. I was 13, and my dad was left with 7 children under the age of 20, 6 of whom were girls. The youngest of which was me, and I made up for at least 3 kids. So, but he was on the board of, he worked with ABC, and he was a part of bringing ESPN into the ABC fold. And so when Steve Bornstein became CEO of ESPN at the age of 36, they wondered who would be the person who would come in and really be the yin to his yang, the adult supervision. And that was my dad. So he was the COO and CFO of ESPN. And so as a young girl, like, I was kind of a television kid. Like, I had a really great exposure to a lot of what he did. Like, I didn't really learn a lot about cooking or, you know, girly things, but I learned a lot about business, because by the age of 15, I was the only one at home alone with my dad. And so it just was a remarkable experience, taught me a lot about what I do today in my own work. But when Jimmy V gave that speech in 1993, in the first annual ESPY Awards, my dad was the producer. And I watched it. I mean, that was my dad's baby. And so much about that night, so much about that speech means more to me than I can ever express in words, because the V Foundation gave my dad an outlet to really, you know, fight back against a disease that it took a lot from his life. And now it's given me the same. So I showed up in 1998 and thought I had something to give. And I had the idea for the wine celebration, so I founded it then. And the truth is that the wine celebration has given me so much far in return, far more than I could ever give. So over the years, we've raised $58 million for cancer research. And we've had a lot of special moments with Kerner's wife, Joan, Emily Miner. I mean, I could go on and on. Amazing, amazing moments with people and vintners up here in the Napa Valley. But this year we have a special opportunity, which Jean-Charles alluded to, which is that last summer we honored Naoko Della Valle, and she had recently lost her nephew, Sunsuke, to brain cancer. So we chose that as an area to fund. And we realized that this is an area that really commands some attention. So we've chosen it as our fund need this year. And through a lot of different efforts, we had somebody reach out and say, okay, V Foundation, I'm going to match you. Most our fund need has ever done is $1.5 million, but this couple has stepped forward in an anonymous way and said, we're going to match you, but we're going to match you up to $3 million. So that... So our funded need this year will go to pediatric brain cancer, and 2 years ago I lost my nephew to brain cancer. And I can tell you, it is the most brutal form of cancer because it takes away everything. It takes away so many of your abilities. So for us to be able to do something of this scope and size will be really awesome. So in any case, we started with very humble beginnings. I thought, I'll start a little wine event. You start a little wine, you have a little cheese. I had no idea. But to have come this many years forward, and then to have people like Jean-Charles and Gina here supporting us, they've in the last couple of years become involved with the foundation. They've stepped forward in such a huge way. I mean, they're the supporter of our champagne, of our bubbles this year, and been home to 2 of our events the last couple of years. It's really an honor and a privilege with two people who represent so well what's been their family legacies of the wine business. So it's actually really quite an honor for us to be here in your home, and that you're here supporting us. So we thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.